Fueled by C4, Cellucor, and Extend. Use the code Clydesdale to get 20% off at checkout at c4energy.com. On Clydesdale Media, where we bring you the widest array of content here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notifier so you're first to know when new episodes are available. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Podcast. My name is Scott Switch. I'm the Clydesdale, and I am so honored and privileged to have with me the winner of the 60 to 64-year-old women's division, Lynne Watt. Lynne, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited. It's been so much fun getting to know the Masters athletes over these last couple weeks by interviewing the champions. You are the seventh that we've interviewed. So about halfway through the lineup of champions from Legends. And you are in Scotland, correct?
Yes, that's right, yes. So it's the evening here at the moment.
Yeah, so I think you're the first ever guest I've had. We've done almost 1,000 shows. You're the first ever guest from Scotland.
Oh, well, that's good.
There you go.
It's good to be the first. Good.
So
I don't travel to many competitions, so.
That was going to be my next question is, you're in Scotland. Is there a Masters presence in the UK or Europe at all?
Not much. Nothing like in America. It's getting better, but you really struggle to find competitions with enough people in your age group that want to compete. It's just it's usually age 40 plus or age 45 plus over here, which is not really ideal when you're 60. So there's not I think it's growing. It is growing, but it's just not enough for competitions to put on a category for our age group. So I don't do that many competitions, to be honest.
Yeah, and please forgive me if my internet is making me choppy.
Okay.
If you've been a guest of the show or watched the show, we've been having some problems the last couple weeks. It's funny because, you know, in America, we're still behind a little bit with Masters compared to the elite athletes.
Oh yeah.
But it sounds like it's even worse of a bigger gap, I should say, not worse, a bigger gap in Europe than it is here.
Definitely. For the older, the older end. I mean, I think there's plenty of 40-year-olds and what have you. There's a lot there, but when it gets to maybe 45 plus, there's just not so many. I mean, it will eventually work its way through, but at the moment we don't get an opportunity to compete with our age group over here.
So what brought you to CrossFit in the first place?
Well, I used to do a lot of boot camp stuff. I was never into one specific sport. I was always very sporty when I was a child, but just did anything. I just liked to join in anything. I played some field hockey when I was at school, which was a long time ago. But other than that, it's really just been involved in all different things in the gym, and eventually boot camp type training. So that's what I was doing for a while, and it was called British Military Fitness. So it was kind of military people that took it. So you were crawling in the mud and things like that, which was great. And one of the instructors had said to me, you should try CrossFit, Lynne. You would really like it. You would really like it. And I went, no. I'll stick with my boot camp. And I stuck with that for maybe a couple of years, and then eventually I decided to go along. There was a local gym opened, a CrossFit gym. It was new, and they were putting on beginners classes. So I thought, I was getting a bit fed up with my boot camp. So I thought, I'll go in and try it, and I'll see what it's like. And as soon as I went in, I loved it. It was just all the different things you could do. I thought, this is definitely what what I'm going to enjoy. So yeah, so that's how I got into it. Just one of the instructors at boot camp telling me about it, that there wasn't, I think there was maybe 2 CrossFit gyms in Edinburgh. Then there wasn't many. There's still not a huge amount, but it's growing more and more. But back then, there wasn't an awful lot, so it was a wee bit different. So yeah, so that's how I got into it. Just being advised, just saying, "Oh, you would love it, Lynne," you know, because I like trying things. I've always liked trying things, and so that's how I got into it in 2017. I think it was when I was 53. That's when I started. Um, so yeah, so I was quite old when I started.
So you started at 53,
Yeah,
and you made it to the CrossFit Games in 2021. So that
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
about 8 years of working at it.
Well, no, it wasn't as much as that. 4 years. 4 years. It's 2000.
4 years. 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
Okay.
But yeah, and that year I was lucky in a way. They took 20 people that year, and I qualified in 19th. And I'm totally shocked that I got there. But yeah, so, and I think I finished 12th. I got there. I still felt very green behind the ears. I still felt it was a way, oh, you know, beyond me, but I had such good fun when I was there. Unfortunately, that was kind of post-COVID time where we couldn't travel. Nobody could come with me. I had to go myself because nobody was allowed to travel. We had to get special forms and everything filled in to actually go to America. But yeah, it was a great experience. Yeah, so I've been working on
Yeah.
my weaknesses since then.
Yeah. That was my first year at the games as media.
Ah, right,
Um,
okay. Uh-huh.
and it was a strange year because of
Yes,
the post COVID stuff.
yes, uh-huh.
Um, and there weren't a lot of people there. Is it a goal of yours to get back to the games so you can bring family and friends?
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh. I was hoping, like now that I've just gone into the 60 plus, I was just 60 in August, so I kind of thought this could maybe be my 1 year. It is, you've got such a short window when you're in the age groups, you know, you kind of got to be younger. Well, you have got outliers. You've got some people that can manage to do it every year, but mostly for most of us, it's generally your first year or first or second year when you're in that age group. So I'm hoping to. I'm carrying a wee bit of an injury at the moment, which is a wee bit of a worry, but I'm hoping to try and get through the stages and get there. The new format, the legends. I'm actually delighted with that. To me, you're still going to be competing against the best, so it doesn't really matter that it's not attached to what the elites are doing. So yeah, so my goal is to try and get there, hopefully this year. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, the season has been kind of flipped upside down for the Masters.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Each stage actually has opened up
Yeah.
greatly,
Yes. Uh-huh.
with 25% at quarters, 200 at
200, I think.
semis,
Yes. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. And
which it
then
was
I think
maybe
we're
30 last year.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I think I was 31st or something. I didn't have a great. My training was all over the place for a while. But no, it's not an excuse. That was just the way. That's the way it happens with Masters. You're like, there's always things going on. But yeah, but this year I think they take 20 in our age group. I think it's maybe 30 for 55 to 59. They take 20, I think, for our age group, which is so much better than just 10. It's just a
Yeah.
better competition, really. So I'm hoping that I can get there this year. We're still waiting to find out, of course, when it is and where it is, but hopefully we'll find out soon.
Yeah, I know if everybody I've talked to, that's the biggest frustration is
Uh-huh.
where's can we make the plans now? Those kinds of
Mm.
things. So with everything being open bigger along the way, like semis and quarters,
Mhm.
does
Uh-huh.
it allow you to not hammer the body as hard in those first
Eh,
few phases than you would in the past?
Possibly, I think it'll just be you probably approach it slightly differently because you kind of expect to be within that, manage to get through in the open and the 200. You would like to think you would be in the top 200. So it means you can possibly start training for the later stages, if you know what I mean. You don't specifically have to train for the Open, then train for, that's what my coach is kind of thinking anyway. So I don't feel that I hammer my body too much. The training's hard, but I always take 2 rest days. You know, I only train 5 days. I know saying only, but I know a lot of people train an awful lot more than that. I never feel that my body's, you know, too bad, unless I'm under the weather, you know. But generally, I think my training's quite balanced. I think it does obviously ramps up the further you get on through the stages. But yeah, hopefully it'll not be as tough to sort of think you've got to train for the Open then train for the quarters. I think you're thinking a wee bit further ahead in the hope that you can get through the other stages. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
How long have you been with your current coach?
I've been with him coming up 2 years now. Yeah, almost 2 years. And it's with is a coach from WOD Prep. I don't know if you've heard of WOD Prep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of their coaches. So yeah, so he's just like getting to know me and working on all the stuff that I need to work on. I never used to. I mean, I used to just do classes and just kind of do what I wanted. But then what happened actually in 2000 and was it 2019? Is that the year they had the two Opens? I think it was. They had one at the beginning of the year and one in October. I ended up with I had to get an emergency eye operation the day before the Open started in October. So I kind of lost it. I couldn't train for a while after that. And then I started training again, and then I had to get another eye operation the following year. So I was out again for 6 weeks, and that's quite a long time for Masters. I couldn't go upside down, I couldn't lift weights. So it was after that I kind of felt I'd lost a lot of confidence, lost a lot of strength. So I decided to actually get somebody to program specifically for me to get me up to scratch. And actually, that was the following year I actually made the CrossFit Games. So it was a good move to get a one-on-one coach for me specifically.
It's funny because I've had the owner on my show. I didn't know they did personalized programming for Masters. I knew they had a special track for Masters, and yes. I know they have a lot of like what I want to call classes on specific movements.
Yes, they do.
But I did not know they did personalized programming. That's really
cool. They do one-on-one. Yeah. They've got, I think, maybe 3 or 4 coaches that do one-on-one. To be honest, I don't know how many they all have. I mean, they've all got obviously a few clients, but yeah, they do offer one-on-one coaching at WOD Prep. So I was before that. I was actually following their programming anyway. And I bought some of Ben's courses, for pull-ups and things like that, and then that's why I approached them for one-on-one, because I liked the stuff that they did in their programming.
Yeah, I'll have to reach out to Ben and have him back on and talk about that, because it's something I didn't know they were doing. And I always butcher his last name, so I'm not going to try that at all today.
Oh yeah, I know. I actually can't even pronounce it either.
So you did that before you made the games in 22?
21. I made the games.
21, right? 21. You were with WOD Prep then when you made the games?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How much did you learn?
Was I with another coach actually before, but still from WOD Prep? Then I switched coaches not long after that, just to get more stuff specific for me. But I've been with Orlando for coming up 2 years now. Yeah.
And he was with you at Legends. I saw some pictures.
Yeah, he was.
And he was there. What was it like because is he based here in the States?
He's in Washington, Seattle, so the West Coast. Yep. Yeah, so it's remote, and sometimes the time difference is a wee bit, because I think he's 8 hours behind here. But it works, and we have Zoom calls now and again. But it was really nice to actually meet him in person. Him and his wife. His wife came as well, so it was lovely to meet him in person. Yep.
What was it like to have your coach right there with you? Because you probably haven't had that before.
No, it was great actually. It was good. He was actually looking after a few WOD Prep people there, so he was constantly back and forward. But it was really nice to know that he came into the warm up area and just kind of kept me calm, and just gave me a wee bit of advice. And then I knew that he was watching the side with my friend. My friend had come out with me as well, so it was really nice to know that he was there, and I could see him afterwards as well. So yeah, that was good.
With an experience like that, do, do you get more data points? Uh-oh.
Oops, you
Lost you
froze
for 1
again.
second.
Yeah, so yeah.
With an experience like that, do you get more data points to take back and correct or to adjust and tweak than you
Yeah,
would?
like if he wasn't, yeah, yeah, it was good. Do you mean like he could see things that I needed to work on, and I know I've got to work on, but yeah, it was good that we could see, um, the things that I struggled with, um, and the things that I was actually really good at. So yeah, it was a good experience, and I think it was really worthwhile, to give us something, moving forward to work on.
Yeah, that's great. So is this your biggest win you've ever had?
Yeah, yeah. To be honest, well, I had done a competition after saying there's not many competitions. What happened was, you know, Kelly Friel, the Masters athlete. She's won in quite a few age groups. I think she's won the games the last 3 years. Kelly Friel. She's from the UK. I think she's in the 45 to
45 to 49.
49 age group. Well, like she owns CrossFit Southampton in England, down south, and they took over the British Masters competition. So I did the qualifiers for that in my new age group, 60 plus. But it ended up there just wasn't anybody else in the 60 plus. But I asked them if I could participate in the 55 to 59 because I literally was only just turning 60 when the competition ran. So I competed against the 55 to 59-year-olds. And I won that. So that was my first, but it was a lot smaller. It was a smaller competition. So I would say that, but it was great to win. Yeah, it was great to win that. But the Legends was bigger, a bigger competition, and obviously participating against like all my other people in my age group. So that was my biggest win. I was so surprised. I wasn't expecting to win, to be honest. I had been on a family holiday for a couple of weeks in America, and I was only back a week, just getting over my jet lag, just back a week, and then I was away out to Phoenix. So there was a lot of traveling, and I have to say, it it was really tiring. I was very, very tired when I got there, and it told on the first day. I really struggled. Um, but the second and third, my adrenaline just kept me going, and there was workouts that suited me. And by the last day, I was very tired. I just think all the travelling took a lot more out of me than I expected. But it was well worth it. We had such a good time. It was great fun, and it was nice to actually have nice weather, nice warm weather, because it's really cold here just now. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
us
my
too.
biggest one. Yeah.
Yeah, we so I'm in Northern America.
All
So
right.
I got to
Okay.
go. So I'm probably
Yeah.
right at the same weather latitude that you are.
Yeah, yeah. It can be really cold or really wet, really windy. We get a whole mixture, but it was lovely to actually go outside after your workout in Phoenix, and it was just lovely weather. It was just so, and I didn't have to warm up as long. It takes me forever to warm up here. I think just being older, it just takes me forever. So that was lovely. It was just a really good experience. So friendly. I was really nervous, but it was great having my coach there, and also my friend. I don't think I would have gone if I'd had to go myself again. I think the fact that my friend said she would come with me, it was just brilliant. We had such good fun. So yeah, it was good. Mm-hmm.
Well, back to Kelly Friel.
Oh
I
yeah.
actually met her at the 21 games.
Ah, right. Okay. She's
So
lovely.
we actually stayed in the same hotel.
All right.
And
Uh huh.
the hotel had grills out back in the
Uh
courtyard,
huh. Oh, nice.
and her and I were sharing a grill. I didn't even know she was an athlete at the time.
Oh.
Like we were talking, and
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff and grilling steaks and chicken and all that. And then the next day I go to the venue and she's out on the floor and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my goodness.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
from that point forward, I followed her career. She's
yeah.
been on the show 4 or 5 times, I think.
She, right. She was
Yeah.
lovely. She was so nice, and they took over. They took over the running of the British Masters just. We're in 24 now, just in 23 there, and I think that's what they're hoping to grow it again for the Masters. Because there's just not a lot for all the age groups. So it was good. Again, it's smaller because I think they only have eight in each age group. But it was very well run, and that was a good competition. And she was really helpful. She was really nice. So it was good to meet her,
Yeah.
and I follow her now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
she's amazing.
she's probably the face of women's masters
Yeah,
outside of the United States
yeah,
because she's
definitely.
won
Yeah,
so much.
yeah, It's good. It's good. Yeah, hopefully it'll grow. It'll help grow the sport in the UK. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully. We want this
Mm-hmm.
sport to grow for all the masters athletes for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, definitely.
So you said you came in jet lagged. The first day was definitely not your best day
Oh
at
my
the
goodness.
so is it the swimming is not a good thing for you or just
No,
you were
it's
tired?
not. It's not a
Okay.
good thing for me anyway, but I had been practicing. But I think just and I mean in there because we had travelled for 24 hours, and then we did have the Wednesday, but I hadn't slept. I didn't sleep that night, but I knew the swimming one would be difficult for me, but I didn't expect it to be quite as tiring. And when I first did the shoulder to overhead with the dumbbell, I thought this actually feels really good. This feels good. Went and did my swim, and I came out and had nothing in my legs. It was just it was such a struggle, so hard, a lot harder than it should have been. I think. I mean, I would have at the best finished middle of the pack, but I was very very far down. And I was not expecting to do as well in the lifting event because that's not my strength. I'm quite a small athlete. Olympic lifting isn't my thing really, but how I managed to get fourth, I was totally shocked at that. So that kind of pulled me up a wee bit. Second and third day were kind of my kind of workouts. So I did really well, a lot of catching up the second and third day, which was good. And it was just about holding on the last day because I was absolutely shattered. Um,
So with the swim, I love the way they program that event. My
mm,
background is swimming.
oh,
To do to do well in that event, you had to try to go unbroken on the
yes.
shoulder to overhead.
Uh-huh.
And that forced your heart rate up. And then
Mm-hmm.
you had to get back in the pool and kind of relax with your
Oh,
stroke to get like back in a rhythm. And it wasn't just a simple get from point A to point B on the swim. Adding that dumbbell really changed the dynamic of the workout.
yeah, definitely. And I think if you're not a swimmer, swimming is a whole different thing as far as fitness is concerned. The breathing and oh god, so if you were a good swimmer, I think you could relax in the swim. If you're not a good swimmer, I just couldn't relax. I tried my best, but yeah, it wasn't my best. It wasn't my best
And
event.
if you're not
But
relaxing on a swim, you're not going to be efficient.
no, definitely. But I promised my friend we said we are going to because we were going swimming every Thursday evening when we were adding in just more lengths. And we've said I'm going to carry that on. I have to do it because it's going to come up in competitions. So I just have to get a bit better at that. So that's something I've definitely got to work on. But I just hated that event. I just felt so bad after it. But anyway, we always have one bad event.
Do you have pools that allow you to bring in dumbbells or
No.
kettlebells?
This,
Yeah,
this
that's
is the
tough.
issue I had even when we were training for the games, when they got swimming programmed and they would say, do other exercises. We just cannot do that. Our pools, we just can't do it. So we don't have the ability to do that here. But that's just one of the things you have to accept. I just have to try and get better at swimming in the hope that I can hang on a bit better next time.
Yeah.
But it was a good event. I mean, it was a well programmed event. It was good, and it was great to see the people that were good swimmers. you know, when you just watch them, it was just fantastic. I mean, my oldest son was a really good swimmer, but I've just never ever really. I can swim, but I've never tried to develop my swimming. So it's something that I have to do.
Yeah, then you go into the lift, and you're a smaller athlete.
Mm.
My co-host on Thursday night, she won the 40 to 44-year-old division.
Oh,
And
Jamie, is it Jamie? Yeah, yeah,
yes.
she was amazing. I managed to see her in the last event. Um, yeah,
And when she was in 35 to 39, she would finish at the bottom of a lot of lifting events. She
uh-huh.
gets to 40 to 44, and now she's middle of the pack. And
Yeah,
it just
that was the same.
it was a complete change of mindset at that point.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I
You
know I
took
wasn't because I took fourth, I think, in that. I honestly, I didn't even know I'd taken fourth because I was like, oh my. And you know, as well, what's really difficult is I work in kilograms. So my coach had to try and tell me what colours. Now that if you put that colour, that's so many, and I had a wee bit of paper with me because I would have no idea. You've got 4 minutes, and trying to convert the pounds into kilograms. So I had my wee bit of paper, so I knew roughly what I was putting on the bar. And then I just kept trying, and I had no idea where I'd finished. I knew I hadn't done. I'd managed to do okay in the snatch. I kind of thought I've done what I thought I could do in the snatch. In the clean and jerk, I was a wee bit disappointed. I couldn't even tell you what I got actually, but I failed my jerk on the last lift, so I had no idea. And I was feeling so tired that day. We got home to the hotel, and it was my coach had said, "You got fourth in the lift." I hadn't even looked. I couldn't believe that I'd got fourth. So that kind of boosted me a wee bit because I think it took me up to 10th before going into the second day. So yeah, so that was a nice bonus. Yeah, but I always expect to fall really down in the rankings when the lift, the max lift, comes in.
Well, and then you and Jamie have another thing in common because you both swept Friday.
Isn't it? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. I can't remember
So
what the events were.
so the first one was Hell's Bells. That
Oh,
was
Hell's Bells.
the
Mm-hmm.
where you hold the grip test
Yes. Yes.
with the
Uh-huh.
dumbbells and the lunges and the
Yeah.
devil's press penalty. Were you
Yep.
able to go through unbroken?
Yeah. Uh-huh. I just held on to it. It wasn't a heavy. It wasn't too heavy a dumbbell. It was like 10 in my money. It's 10 kilograms. I can't remember what it was there, and I thought that's not too heavy, but it was just your grip, just being able to hold on. The thing that I thought would maybe catch me out was the squat cleans, but they actually, once I got through them, I thought I knew I could do the devil's press unbroken. So yeah, was pleased with that. Mm-hmm.
So that starts your run, and then you go into jump, which is the rope climb,
Yeah.
double the three
That was my favourite
varieties
one.
of jump rope.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, and I just managed to do unbroken on that as well. I just made sure I didn't fail any rope climbs, and I did unbroken on all the ropes, which was great. So I really enjoyed that one. So I had a good day on the Friday.
Yeah, that rope was Jamie, and Jamie tries to come on to these, but
Yeah.
this one happened right in the middle of her training day.
Oh
But
yeah, she'll be trained. She'll be training hard.
um, but she like she loves rope climbs
Uh
so
huh.
much, and
Uh-huh.
she loves jump rope, but the heavy rope got her. She
Oh, but they had doubles. We just had singles.
yeah,
That would have been hard to do doubles with that heavy rope. To be honest, in a way, I wish we'd had doubles. Sometimes I kind of wish we had some of the things that the others had. The singles were actually fine with that heavy rope, but it would have been difficult with the doubles, I think. Yep.
yeah, she did it unbroken in warm up a ton of times,
Mm-hmm.
and the minute she got
Mm-hmm.
on the floor, I think her head just she
Oh
went
yeah.
ahead to the crossovers and like
Uh-huh.
just held the rope wrong or something. But
Uh-huh.
um, that brings me to something where I was talking to Tony Tursky, who
Mm-hmm.
won men's, I
He's
think your
66 or
division.
55, 60, maybe 60, 64
I
possibly.
think it
Yeah,
was
I know.
60,
I've seen him
64.
on Instagram. Mm-hmm.
And he is of the belief that the programmer should let the athlete show off.
Mm-hmm.
Like if
Mm-hmm.
an athlete is in 60 to 64 and they can do a bar muscle up, there should be a spot in the workout that they get to show that off and
Yeah.
do the bar
Uh-huh.
muscle.
I think so, because I think also it's a separator sometimes. I think you need that. Um, and because you do train all these things. You train your ring muscle ups, your bar muscle ups, and I mean, I'm not great at bar muscle ups, but I know I can get up and over. So I always quite like it when something like that comes in, because you think, well, you can either do it or you can't, kind of thing. And I think sometimes in big competitions, you have to have a bit of a separator sometimes with a movement. But they did allow us to do that in the final round of I can't remember the name. I don't remember the name of all the workouts. The one with
Yeah,
the
Enter
clean and jerk.
Sandman. It was
Yeah.
it was the first workout of the next day,
Yes, that's right.
and you had the clean and jerks and the snatches with the bar muscle ups,
We
or
had
you guys started
chest to
with the
bar,
bar.
then bar muscle ups. That's right. I kind of struggled with that with my grips. I kept slipping my uh, the grips I use, because in our gym we don't really use chalk on the bars, so I have chalkless grips. But as soon as you get a bit of chalk on them, they just slip. And eventually, I just threw them off when I was doing my last bar muscle up, and it felt so much better. But you live and learn with things like that.
Yeah,
But yes, it was good they put the bar muscle ups in at the end there, because it meant the people that could do it could get that wee bit further. So
and that
yeah,
was a last minute change, and it was really good that they did that
yeah,
because
definitely.
Tony had an example of a guy who finished 19th, but
Hmm.
one thing he had was bar muscle ups, and
Yeah,
in that event he got to show off
it's
that I
which is
have,
nice. Yeah,
and it probably gave him the encouragement to keep pushing forward to get
definitely.
better and better at everything else.
Yeah, I would say that. Yep, definitely agree with that.
So you won that one as well.
Yes, because I got one. I think I got one extra bar muscle up to the person that was second. So, yep,
And then
I
you finished
know.
Saturday with another one bites the dust. And this is where my memory is a little bit fuzzy.
Is this the heavy cleans and the handstand walks? What cleans and
Yes,
yes.
that was it.
Now, there's a story with that as well. The girl that won it would have won it anyway, because she was. Um, but while I was doing my cleans, I thought, gosh, they feel really heavy. It's not a strength of mine, squat cleans. A power clean, I would always choose to power. I just, for some reason, I hate doing a squat on anything. And I thought, gosh, this feels quite heavy. And I think I was I don't know, I think I'd done maybe on my third round, they swapped my bar out because I had the wrong weight on it. They had the wrong weight. So I think I had too heavy a weight. I have no idea what it was, whether it was a men's bar, but it was too heavy. So as soon as they swapped it in, oh God, it felt so much better. I think that happened to one other girl in heat as well. But I mean, I never put it, because the girl that won it, she deserved to win it, but I was second in that one. I still would have been second. I just would have been a bit closer to her. But yeah, that one was funny because they programmed the handstand walks before the cleans. So some people never did a clean. A lot of people in my heat never actually managed to get to the cleans because they couldn't do the handstand walks. Um, but I think there was maybe 4 in our heat that managed to finish that. I was really pleased with that one as well. My handstand walks actually showed up that day because they can be a
So that
bit of
goes
a
to the
heavy.
flip side of programming. Yeah, you want people to be able to show off what they can do, but you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to make it the barrier so hard that nobody.
I was surprised. I thought they would have made them clean and then handstand, but they never. And I think that probably, to be honest, that probably for the last day, it probably meant that their legs were nowhere near as fatigued for that last one, which was a lot of squatting as well. So the ones that maybe didn't do so well in that one did quite well on the last day. It was interesting to actually see that, because they didn't have to do any of the squat cleans because they couldn't do the handstand walks. Um, but yeah, so I was second in that one. I was really pleased with that as well. So yeah, I was
So
having a good couple of days.
the middle
Mm-hmm.
2 days, 3 firsts and a second.
Yeah, I was delighted with that. Uh-huh. Yeah,
So what did the leaderboard look for you like for you going into that final double event?
but I had 40 points clear. Um, so it was a big cushion, but I was still so nervous. I just didn't expect to be in that position. I've never been in that position that people are chasing me like that. And I knew that I was really tired as well. And I thought, gosh, this is going to be so hard, this back to back, the back to back workouts. And you had actually no idea where you were, because everybody was on the floor, so you had no idea where you had come in the first event before you started the second event. And I knew I'd done really badly I had hardly anything in the tank by the time I was doing the thrusters and the burpee one. So I knew I hadn't done so well on that one. So it was just, I was refusing to look at the leaderboard for a wee while, and then eventually somebody came up and said, you've won. So I was 20 points clear, I think,
Yeah.
by the end of
Yeah,
it.
you won
So,
671 to 651.
mm,
But about that last workout, they had an unusual lane formation where if you were in the lead, you actually were facing the entire crowd or the entire field of
I could see
athletes.
everybody. I could see everybody. I was right at the very back, so I could see. I
But
could.
if you
I
were
could.
in second, your back was to everybody.
That's right. Yes, I know. It was strange, wasn't it? Because I was aware that Litsa was away up at the front, and I was at the back, so I could see her, and I could also see the girl that was trying to keep in third place. She was right in front of me as well. So I did have a bit of an advantage there, but to be honest, you kind of totally lost track where you were in that workout anyway with the snatches and the squats. Yeah, I honestly, I said that I felt really bad after the swim event. After that last event, I was totally wiped out. I've never felt so drained in my life. It took so much out of me. But I think again, it was just a combination of fatigue, nervousness. Yeah, it took me a long time to recover from that one. But once I found out I'd won, I started to recover quite quickly.
Again, you're the seventh champion I've talked to, and then eighth is Jamie. So with that formation, the others told me they knew who they had to beat.
Right.
So like they would watch that person, and if that person would put the dumbbells down, they'd put the dumbbells down.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
that person picked up the barbell, they were picking up the barbell. Like,
Yeah. So you
and
could
it
play
was
it a wee
that way
bit.
the whole way through. And it did give them a distinct advantage. Some even admitted it was probably too much of an advantage.
Yeah. It probably was. But yeah, I think I was just so nervous and feeling so tired. I think I just totally lost track. I just knew that some people were in front of me, but I had no. I think I maybe got sixth or seventh. I can't remember on that the first part. But the second part, I thought I'd be able to do these thrusters unbroken, but my legs were just like lead. Yeah, I had to just really hang on to the end.
You
But
guys did a lot of squatting.
we did a lot, and I don't like squatting, but we did a lot of squatting. And as well, there was no machines, which actually surprised me. I wasn't sad about that because being a small person, it's not my strongest thing. But yeah, there was no machines either. Yeah, but
Do you think without the machines, they still kept enough variety that every workout felt different?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, when you think we had rope climbs, we had bar muscle ups, we had all the different ropes, we had swimming, a lot of dumbbells. I think it just felt like CrossFit, like CrossFit to me.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was very leg dominant, I think. But yeah, on the whole, I thought it was a good competition. And my
Yeah.
body wasn't wrecked at the end of it or anything like that. I thought I'd be a lot sorer than I was, but thankfully I wasn't too bad.
Yeah. As a spectator, I don't think that anything felt repetitive.
No, the workouts were all very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of squatting.
So you get announced as winner. You get to go up on the podium.
Mm.
What was that feeling like?
Yeah, it just felt great. It was surreal. I just couldn't believe that I had won, to be honest. But it was just so nice with the girls that got second and third were so nice as well. It was just like such a good group. And they were so complimentary as well. In a fun way, saying, "Oh, we'll be following you. We'll be, make sure we can catch up with you and stuff like that." It just felt really good. I was so pleased. I travelled so far. I didn't expect to do that well because my coach had said, "What are your expectations?" I said, "Well, top 8. I would like top 8. That would be great. Just knowing the build up, being on holiday and whatever, I would never have expected to have gotten first. So when I got first, it was just so good. Such a good feeling. I was happy. Mm-hmm.
What kind of confidence does that give you now going into the 2024 season when
Yeah,
you
it's
are
given me a wee bit. Yeah, it's given me a wee bit more confidence because I tend to not be the most confident when it comes to my abilities. It's what I always think, oh gosh, I always think, oh gosh, everybody's better than me. I'm not a gymnast. I'm not a specialist in anything, but I can usually muddle my way through. But I think it just gave me confidence that I can compete when I have to compete. Because I train on my own all the time. Like I'm always training on my own. So sometimes it's really difficult to know where you're at until you're actually in a competition. And because I don't compete very often, you really don't know where you're at compared to your other people in your age group. So it was really nice to know that I could actually do that. I could compete. And yeah, I know that there's holes here and there, but I know that I can work on them. I'm always up for a challenge. So it's given me more confidence for sure that I can compete with the best.
where does that set your sights for the CrossFit Games in 2024?
Um, Well, realistically, I don't know, because I do know you've got to be realistic. You know, there's people coming up from the 55 to 59, and they've been doing they've been the games regularly year after year. So you know that they're like Laurie, I can never pronounce Laurie's second name, but she's won numerous times. Betsy wasn't at Legends, but she was second at the games last year. All these people, I would like to think I could maybe get top 8. I was saying top 8. I would like to aim for that. I think that's would be realistic for me with my ability, my gymnastics and things like that. So I would like to think I can maybe get top 8 in the games if I qualify. I think that's been realistic with all the other people I know that are going to be at the games that weren't the Legends. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to
So
work hard anyway.
so just to be clear, you're saying top 10.
Yeah, top 10. Top 10. Okay, yeah, top 10. I would like to be top 10. I
Okay.
think that should be achievable for me.
Okay. I just wanted to be clear because we never know what the heat sizes are going to be at these events, right? And
No, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
right. And so um top half, because you 20 go in your age group,
Mm-hmm,
seemed to
mm-hmm.
like what you were saying. So if you split that into 2 heats, top
Yeah,
10.
top 10. Yeah, in the first heat. I'd like to be in the first heat. So the second heat. Was it the second heat? They always go. Yeah. Yeah. So I would like to think if my training goes to plan, and I can fill these little gaps, then and work on everything, make my strength stronger. Yeah, I would like to think that I could get there and I could make the top 10. We'll see.
So what does this community mean to you? You travel all the way from Scotland to Tempe,
Mm-hmm.
Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and you hang out with these like-minded individuals in your division.
Yeah,
How good of friends and how quickly do you become friends with that
really
group of
quickly. So quickly because you don't know. I didn't know. I don't think I'd met any of them before. Um, well, maybe one, Karen Smith. I think she was at the games when I was there. So I didn't know any of them. There's a lot of new names that I didn't know, and we just so quickly just all got on really well. It was great. Some of them are just such good fun, like funny people, and just like people would come up and say, "Oh, are you Lynne?" And it was just great because it is quite nerve wracking going. You're coming from like Scotland to America, not competing very often, and then you're in amongst all these people you don't know. But it's just so quickly you just all become so friendly. And I'm hoping that I'll see some of them at the games. I'm sure I will see some of them at the games. If I get there, injury free. And it'll be nice to see them again. So you kind of you think we used to they start following them on Instagram or whatever. So I think it's great. They're just so friendly, down to earth people.
Yeah, and does it make you become more active on Instagram now that you've met these people?
I'm terrible. I'm not very active. It was so funny. My friend Lynne, she's called Lynne as well. I've known Lynne for years, and she came along and she did all the posts every night. We got to bed. She would have a wee glass of wine because I was being very good. I was having my ginger beer, and she would make a post so that people at my gym saw all the friends, and she would put that on Facebook and Instagram. So it was her that was doing all the posts because she knows I'm terrible. I'm actually terrible at that. And now and again I'll post things, but I'm just not very active. Um, but my friend does it for me. But yeah, it's made me sort of follow more people and see how their training's going and what have you. But I'm not the best at the social
Yeah.
media.
If
I've laid
anybody
my head.
knows, it's a guy trying to find one action shot of Lynn on a competition floor to use for a thumbnail, and she's got nothing.
Oh no, it's terrible. That's what my friend says. She says folk will go, they'll follow you and they'll go, oh, there's nothing there. So she always tags me. She'll tag me on Facebook or whatever, so that I think it appears on mine. I know I really should do more. I do apologise if you were looking for something, because when I get asked to send a picture, I said I don't have any action. I don't have any action photos, but I know I really should. I should learn
Yeah, I
to be
usually have
better.
my camera with me, and the goal is to like beef up my folder full of pictures so
Yeah.
that when
Uh
I
huh.
interview people, like I have some of my own.
Yeah.
Um, but this was such a big competition to get around.
Mm.
And I didn't know everybody at this point
No.
to know
Uh-huh.
who was going to be successful and who wasn't. Um, but it was delightful getting to watch you
Mm.
and watch you win. I would be remiss to not bring this up since it's hitting the news pretty heavily here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the email that went out to the podium winners
Oh
from
yeah,
the
yeah.
event organizers about
Uh-huh.
not having prize money this year
Yeah.
at Legends.
Mm-hmm.
I want to open the floor if you have a comment about that. If you don't, I totally understand because I have
No,
a
no, I
lot
don't
to say
mind.
about this, and I'm going to say it tonight
Yeah.
on my own.
Yeah. Well, I had no expectations of prize money. Like, see, I don't compete very often. I don't think that I only thought the games paid out. I was actually very, I'm just going to sort of rewind a wee bit when I did the Masters, the British Masters at Southampton. Um, we all got now, which totally surprised me. We all got £200. I don't know what that is in dollars, but we all got given a check, like not a check, but we got that put into our bank. Absolutely surprised me because I wasn't expecting that. And I didn't, and I actually emailed Joe back saying I had no expectations of getting prize money. I didn't expect to get it because they had never said that there was prize money. Um, so I didn't really expect it. But then, see, I don't compete very often, so I don't know what the expectations are of the other people that maybe do compete more. But I was happy with my medal and my shorts and my tops that I got. Money would have been nice, yeah, that would have been nice, but I wasn't expecting it. So, but I don't know were other people that compete a lot, were they expecting money?
So the majority of the people that I've talked to have competed at this event before.
Okay, right, okay,
So in the past, there was prize money.
right.
So that expectation was set. And without anything contradicting that before a
They,
month after the event,
mm-hmm,
but I'll have a
yeah,
lot more to say about that tonight on
yeah,
my own show with isn't this,
yeah.
but I wanted to
It
give you
would,
the opportunity to say anything if you wanted. And thank you for sharing your thoughts.
yeah, no, no problem. Yeah, I know there'll be different views on that, but I was saying I didn't expect to get money in the first place, so I wasn't disappointed. I didn't appreciate that they had money the previous years. So, yeah, however, I was happy I got my medal and my swag. So
And you
that's
got a
fine.
ton of confidence going into next season.
Definitely, yeah. So it was worth the trip. Was worth it. Although it cost me a lot of money to get there. It was worth it. We had such good fun. It was like a wee holiday, a wee vacation for me and my friend as well. So that was a bonus. Yeah.
Well, Lynn, I want to thank you so much for taking some time out
Yeah,
to
thank you.
share your story with me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would just want to highlight you guys so much. I
I
when
appreciate
I'm
that.
at a Masters event, I feel like I'm with my people.
Yeah.
I mean, I just turned 54, so I'm in
All
that
right.
Masters group
You're
too.
in that, yeah. Uh-huh.
So it's just I always have a blast when I'm hanging out with the Masters.
Yeah. No, it's good fun. I appreciate you asking me to come on.
With that, everybody, thank you so much for being with us, and we'll catch everybody next time on the Clydesdale Media Podcast. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.